In a special report tonight, it has been a month since the shakeup at the Savannah-Chatham Metro Police Department. Chief Willie Lovett's retired. Interim Chief Julie Talbert's making changes. And an outside agency is investigating the conduct of at least 3 officers now.
It is a chain reaction of events which started with a sexual harassment complaint and notice of intent to sue by Detective Trina Mayes.
Well, News 3 started investigating Mayes weeks ago, and tonight the results of that investigation and a story you will see only on News 3. Andrew Davis is here now with all the details. Andrew?
Well, that's right. It's a case of a convicted felon, his wife, a Savannah-Chatham police officer, and her husband, and a lot of twists, turns, and questions. We combed through hundreds of pages of documents about Officer Trina Mayes. She's the woman who claimed to have an affair with former Chief Willie Lovett. Inside those pages are several different allegations of wrongdoing, suspensions, and connections to one man nicknamed Rocky. Rocky talked to us, he says, to fill in the blanks and get the whole story.
Today, myself and County Manager Russ Abold accepted the retirement notice effective immediately of Savannah-Chatham Metropolitan Police Chief Willie Lovett.
40 years of service gone within a week of the city getting a letter threatening a sexual harassment lawsuit against Chief Willie Lovett. While Detective Trina Mayes just made a threat to sue the department, her husband, LaPrentice Mayes, took a further step, offering up details of his wife's alleged harassment. In his statement, LaPrentice Mayes says Trina admitted to having an affair, quote, numerous times with Chief Lovett. But what about the woman who made the original allegations, Savannah Detective Trina Mayes? Well, News 3 decided to dig deeper into her past. Mayes is a 7-year member of the Savannah Department. This is Trina Mayes in 2012 talking to News 3 about the search for a fugitive file suspect. But as we quickly found out, hunting down fugitives wasn't Mayes' only connection to convicted criminals like Rocky Sellers.
Because you knew that she was a police officer.
Oh, yeah.
And she knew that you were a felon.
Yeah.
That didn't matter to her.
No.
Did you ever talk about it?
No.
For background, Rocky Sellers is a convicted felon with an extensive criminal record dating back more than a decade.
3 years one time.
Yeah.
Then I came out, I done 2 years. Then I done 18 months in the county jail.
Sellers claims he had a long relationship with Trina Mayes during her first police job. Trina Mayes, then Trina McGee, started with Garden City Police in May of 2005. She resigned in February of 2006 for what she called personal issues. Mayes' resignation letter was 3 pages long, detailed everything from marital issues, problems with supervisors, and even threats of further investigation. But days before she resigned, Garden City Captain Gil Ballard wrote this letter to his chief. It detailed several violations of the code of conduct and a closing line, quote, "It is my professional recommendation that if she has not resigned, that she be terminated." Despite that statement being in her personnel file, Trina McGee was hired by Savannah-Chatham Police in April of 2006.
She was working for Garden City. Then they got in a little complication, so she switched over to SPD. So we was living together for quite time.
Sellers claims Trina not only knew about his record, but helped him get out of jail.
And then I had a little leeway where I finished the probation in Carolina, but I had to bond out. So, you know, Trina, she came and bonded me out.
And by February of 2007, records show she was already facing questions. These were connected to the arrest of several men standing on the corner of Florence Street, men who said they were targeted because they were friends with William Sellers, a.k.a. Rocky. Well, Mayes was cleared of any wrongdoing in that case, but was questioned extensively about her relationship with Rocky. Mayes started by telling investigators she hadn't dated him, never went to jail to bail him out, and never lived together. But she later changed her story when she was shown pictures of she and Sellers together. News 3 also found documents which shows Mayes, then McGee, visited Sellers in jail in April of 2006 and even put money in his jail account.
Did you ever talk to her and say, you're a police officer?
Well, no, not really. I was just thankful for her help. You know, when you're sinking, any life raft throw out to you, you're going to grab it.
But Rocky does say her status as a police officer didn't stop Trina from taking part in at least one criminal act.
But the police pulled her over, and for her safety, I didn't want her to want the police to see her actually in there with me and get caught. So, you know, we just played some duck, duck, goose and got away.
Played some duck, duck, goose. You want to clarify that for us?
Well, outran the cop.
What did she say after you guys ran?
She just look at me and smile and say, boy, we just ran the police. I say, yep, use the police.
Now, Sellers says his relationship with Trina ended in 2007, but he, his family, and friends were far from done with the Savannah officer who verbally threatened Sellers' then wife. Even more on their history and what happened after Trina and Rocky broke up next. Now, just before the break, we told you about Rocky Sellers. He's a convicted felon who says he had a long relationship with a police officer. That officer, Trina Mayes, is the same woman who claims she had an affair with former Savannah Police Chief Willie Lovett. Continuing the story now, Sellers and Mayes have broken up, but Sellers says Mayes is not out of his life yet.
My wife came in the picture when Trina kind of seen a couple of marriage photos in the car. And she tore some of them up. She got mad, tore some of them up. But she told me, too, also, if she see that beast, she was going to F her up.
In 2008, those verbal threats apparently almost became physical. Mayes Internal Affairs filed details an incident in front of a school parking lot between Mayes and Lakeisha Cooper in 2008. Cooper is Rocky Sellers' wife. In Cooper's statement, she says Mayes, quote, jumped in my face and saying, I'm the police, and pointing a finger in her face, too. Cooper even says Mayes went so far as to slap her hand down and flashed a badge threatening to arrest her. After the investigation was finished, Mayes was suspended for 1 day for inappropriate and unprofessional conduct. She was also suspended in 2010 for engaging in unprofessional conduct with another female officer after that officer had texted her current husband, LaPrentice Mayes. And Trina Mayes spent 3 days off the force in 2012. That's after she and LaPrentice had a well-publicized domestic dispute where police were called in. LaPrentice Mayes even had the scars to show for it after that incident. That temper is something that Rocky Sellers remembers only too well.
You don't want to make her mad, because when you make her mad, she go to hit. she clocked me one time, you know. She slapped me one time on the pokes, and I shook it off. And ever since then, I know I had to watch out what I say to her.
These allegations are vile and baseless.
That's what Trina Mayes' lawyer, William Claiborne, had to say. I detailed the various allegations made by Rocky Sellers to him. Claiborne says what happened in Mayes' past is not the question now.
These matters were looked into by Internal Affairs back in 2008. They found those allegations to be not sustained. They have absolutely nothing to do with the sexual harassment that Officer Mayes was subjected to, and it's an attempt by individuals to distract away from the multiple complaints that have been made against the department. They don't have any basis. It's beneath this community for this to be brought up to try to distract away from the problems that were in place at the department.
Rocky says he's afraid of retaliation or crossing Trina. That's why he didn't want to show his face. But he claims he's done with crime, still on probation, trying to turn his life around by telling the truth.
Just to set the record straight so what's in the dark could come to the light.
Trina Mayes is still on the force, still in her same position. Police Chief Willie Lovett retired a week after the allegations went public. Captain Cedric Phillips, who is also referenced in Mayes' allegations, is currently on paid administrative leave. No action's been taken against Trina Mayes by the department for her admission of having an affair.
Well, Andrew, what about the sexual harassment lawsuit Trina Mayes is actually threatening?
Well, that started all, but that case has yet to be filed. But since then, 4 more current or former Savannah Chatham police officers have come forward with allegations including sexual harassment, including Trina's husband, LaPrentice Mayes. Now, Mayes' lawyer, William Claiborne, tells me he actually expects even more officers to come forward with even more complaints, and of course, we'll keep you updated.
All right, Andrew, thank you.